Speaker's Corner aboard the Villa Vie Odyssey, hosted by Kit Cassingham.
Thank you. So,
Yeah.
And I want to start with a thank you for all of the lovely comments you guys wrote on the cards that Aliona made for me. It just warmed my heart, and I appreciate all of your comments. Thank you. Darrell has traveled the world several times over, and he's continuing to do that travel.
With all of us.
Yeah. He's introduced you to the Osaka World's Fair, to his Kybera Foundation, and to name tags. Are you all wearing Darrell name tags? All right, good.
You have to keep them on past tonight, you know. Not just a one-time deal.
Otherwise, he'll do the slideshow again. And Darrell just keeps on giving because he has such a big, generous heart. I think the photos Darrell's going to show us could be called Darrell's Zoo. But let's find out. Darrell?
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Kit. Hello, everybody. I believe that the Speaker's Corner that we had 2 nights ago was the 100th Speaker's Corner that we have had on the ship. So I want to have a big shout out to Kit for putting on such an amazing resident activity so that we can share all the wonderful things that make us who we are. Kit, thank you for everything that you do for this ship. We really appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to get started.
Hey, Darrell.
Yeah?
That makes you number 101.
101. Oh, geez. We're starting all over again from the bottom up.
Amateur night.
I heard that. All right, so I'm going to do a little slideshow presentation on something that I really love, and that's animals. And not that I don't love dogs and cats. You know, we have a wonderful world out there with amazing animals all over the place. And I think for a lot of us, the joy of travel isn't just to see new places and new cultures, but it's to be exposed to all these amazing and wonderful animals that we have. And there's one animal in particular that I am just in love with, and it spurred me on to want to share my love for this one particular animal. And from there, it progressed to, are there other animals that I've seen through my travels? So I want to share that with you. As Kit said, I have done quite a lot of travel. I think I'm up to 138 countries right now, and we're getting into a lot of repeats, but wonderful animals out there, which I'm going to share with you. The reason I have another microphone is because I want this to be somewhat interactive, because I'm not going to stand here and say that I'm the only one that have seen these animals. Many of you have seen the animals I'm about to show you. Many of you have seen animals that I haven't seen. Many of you have experienced travels that I haven't experienced. So as I go through this presentation, if you have something that you'd like to share, a story that can add to this, please just raise your hand or yell out, and I will hand over the microphone. And you really want me to stand in the light? Yeah. All right, into the light. All right, so for the first few slides, and this really is just a slideshow. It's not like some of the other Speaker's Corners where I'm really going to educate you a lot. It's really just sharing pictures and slides and some information about the animals and where they live that you're about to see. So the first few animals are nothing that many of you haven't seen already. Obviously, we are in Australia. Many of you have seen koalas or are going to see koalas. They are just the cutest things ever. Kangaroos as well. And does anybody know what this is? The Tasmanian devil. I don't know about you, but that is not what I remember seeing on the TV. You know, going twirling around and around and around. But yeah, the good old Tasmanian devil. So whether or not we see them in Australia or we see them in Tasmania. All right, raise a hand of anybody that's been to Bali, Indonesia. Okay, a few of you. So we are going to be in Bali, Indonesia at the end of April of next year, and I'm actually going through these slides somewhat in order of where the ship is going to be close to that place. So if you haven't been there, you can think about how you want to visit it as it relates to seeing animals. So Bali, Indonesia, there's two particular things that Bali is famous for besides its temples, and that is its monkeys. There is the famous monkey forest in Ubud, and it is home to about 1,200 of these. There's a monkey in there. You can't really see it very well in the slide. It's 1,200 of these long-tailed macaques. How do you pronounce that? Macaques? Yeah, macaques. This is a monkey that is extremely sacred to the Balinese people. So there's 1,200 of them in this forest, but there are also temples throughout Bali, like the Uluwatu monkey temple. If I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, I apologize. But they are so adorable, and you see them interacting with each other. The mama and the baby. And this guy was obviously in heaven. I don't know why. I didn't know why he was in heaven until I saw this picture. Get your minds out of the gutter. Obviously cleaning just something, just this. This is part of the monkey. So it's really funny. This one particular temple complex has, I'm sorry if I'm in your way, has monkeys everywhere. And it was really funny because down there somewhere, I don't know if that's it on the floor. No, it's not. It grabbed somebody's iPhone. And it was just sitting on there playing with its iPhone. And the person was too afraid to go and get their iPhone. Obviously, this little boy was like, "Ah, Mom." But the monkeys are not shy, that is for sure. And by the way, they love the water. This is one of the few monkeys that loves water. All right, so I have not had the opportunity yet to go to Chengdu and the region in southwest China to see the panda bears. But who doesn't love panda bears, right? I did have an opportunity to go to the Macau Giant Panda Pavilion, which is in Macau. Well, I can't really say Macau, China, but it kind of feels like you're in China. Has anybody been to Macau before? Yeah. Yeah, see, a lot of you people have been to these places. So, I don't know if our ship is going to Macau, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry?
No.
No?
Yes, it's in there, Jerry.
It's just a 2-hour ferry ride.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, if we're not, and we are hopefully going to Hong Kong, there is a fast ferry to Macau, and it is really worth seeing. It's a Portuguese colony. It is like the Las Vegas. In fact, Macau has surpassed Las Vegas in revenue, in gambling revenue, because of all the Chinese that go there. But it also has one of the largest panda conservation pavilions there, where you can see these beautiful, beautiful creatures.
Darrell, we have a question here.
Yes, hold on. Who said that?
Over here. Right there.
Hi, Ming, welcome. Ming is new to the ship. Right here.
Well, actually, I am from Macau.
Oh.
I was born in Macau and grew up there for 18 years. It is no longer a Portuguese colony. It's independent now.
Okay. Well, then, yes, I guess that's true. So we have ourselves our own personal tour guide when we get to Macau. Thank you very much, Ming. And she's wearing her name tag. Good for you. Okay. So a couple things about panda bears. If you haven't, seen panda bears or don't know about, we are going to be.
Darrell,
Yeah.
they're not bears.
They're not bears.
They're not bears.
Panda, yes. Panda bear, no.
Okay, pandas. Giant pandas. Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm
Just
sorry.
like koala, yes, and koala bear, no.
So providing that we stick to the schedule, we will be in Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, that area next summer. So whether or not we actually go to Hong Kong, I don't know yet. Where we're going to be, I don't know yet. I do know this, and this is just on a separate topic. Next summer, for those that are interested, I am planning on getting off the ship for at least a month and doing a Okay, I changed my mind. I haven't booked anything yet. No, but I plan on getting off the ship. For those that were part of our trip to China earlier, which was absolutely amazing, I plan on getting off the ship for about a month next summer and doing an internal China trip. That's going to include going to central and southwest China and all those great places so we can see pandas in the wild. But there are only about 1,800 of these left in the wild. And 1,200 of them are in reserves. So they're in the wild, but they're managed wild. So they are definitely, they're under what's called the vulnerable species. And the vulnerable species are what lies between threatened and endangered. So they're not quite endangered, but they are what's considered are vulnerable. What's interesting about these panda, not bears, is that a newborn, look at the size of them, right? A newborn is the size of a stick of butter. That is unbelievable how something so big can create something so small. And yet they grow up to 5 feet and 300 pounds from that little stick of butter. That is absolutely amazing. They eat 12 hours a day. So they are clearly an animal that's all about eating. They eat 12 hours a day, up to 85 pounds of bamboo. Bamboo represents 99% of their diet. And the reason they eat so much of this bamboo is not nutritious. And so they got to eat a lot of bamboo to actually get any nutrition in their body. And they live up to about 20 years. So an amazing creature. We've seen them in zoos all over the place. Oh, by the way, so this particular two bears are brother and sister. And it was so adorable, I'll play this again, to see them playing together. I don't know which one's a brother and which one's a sister. I didn't look that close.
Where was that?
In Macau.
In Macau.
They also have one in Hong Kong, but it's not near as good as the one in Macau. All right, good enough. Right? Good enough.
Darrell?
Yeah.
I had a chance to go to the panda breeding grounds in Chengdu, and watching those pandas play, they're like any human kid. They play King of the Mountain, they climb up trees, they push each other out, they roll down the hill, they just have the best time.
Yeah.
I hope you get to see it.
I don't have a lot of good videos. I'm not a professional photographer, nor did I expect taking some of these pictures that I would show them, so I apologize if they're not as good as I'd like them to be. But I experienced the same thing with the orangutans in Borneo, which I'm going to show you as well. The way that they play together is just the cutest thing ever. Anybody know what this animal is?
It's a red panda.
It's a red panda, exactly. This is a red panda, and also was found in the same conservation pavilion as the giant panda. These creatures are an endangered species, and an endangered species, according to the definition of it, is a rapid decline of 50 to 70% over the last 10 years or within 3 generations.
Wow.
So think about that. not very long. 10 years, 50 to 70% of the population declined. That's it's pretty special. Which is why a lot of these conservation places exist. It's not that they want to put them in zoo-like environments. It's that they want to put them in environments that protect them from predators, protect them from poachers, help them grow their population, and hopefully eventually put them back out in the wild again. Did someone say something?
There's someone back there.
Do they know why?
Hold on, I can't hear you. Catch.
Do they know why they're endangered? Is it just poaching, or is it habitat, or?
So I don't know the particulars about the red panda. I will share with you a lot of the animals that I talk about that are on, and most of the animals you're going to see are on the endangered species list. It is a combination. I would say the number one reason is encroachment, taking away their land, taking away their forests and their food supply, number one, and number two, poaching. It's not really a declining population due to predators in the natural wild. It's except for which I'll show you a little bit later. The great white sharks of South Africa have unfortunately, oh my God, it's so sad, completely eliminated from South Africa now. No longer can you go cage diving in South Africa. The orcas have killed off so many of the great white sharks in Africa that they have left that area altogether. So that is unfortunate. Anyways, this cute little thing is the red panda. Slightly larger than a domestic cat, and it's more like a raccoon or a skunk than an actual bear. They come primarily from the high altitude of eastern Himalayas and southwestern China, where the pandas come from. Cute little thing. All right, so this is a big section I want to talk about. Can I get a raise of hand of anybody who's been to Borneo? Okay, so I am very pleased that Villa Vie has made some adjustments to the itinerary, and we are now going to Eastern Borneo. We were not going to Eastern Borneo before with the original itinerary. We were only going to Kuching in Western Borneo, and we are now going to Sabah State in Eastern Borneo, which opens up a huge amount of experiences for all of us. I'm very pleased with that. So there are a number of animals in Eastern Borneo, a number of experiences that are very easily accessible for us. And I kind of mapped them out here a little bit. And as we get closer to this, we'll spend more time talking about putting together excursions and things like that. But our ship's going to be landing right here in the Sandakan Seaport. And there are basically three things that I'm going to share with you today. One of them is the four things I'm going to share with you. The Borneo Sun Bear Conservation Center, the Orangutan Center, the Rainforest Discovery Center, and my personal favorite, Labuk Bay Proboscis Monkey Sanctuary. So we're going to start there. So this is the proboscis monkey. Oh shoot, no, that's the wrong picture. Sorry. That's the proboscis monkey. If anybody has seen my Facebook picture, you'll see that it doesn't really look like me. It looks like a proboscis monkey because that's how much I love these things. I think they look better than I do. So this is a male proboscis monkey. There's my notes here. So this particular sanctuary, which is really the only one to go to see them up close and personal in Borneo, has been around for 25 years. It is an area of 400 acres that was developed by the company that put in all of the palm oil plantations that destroyed their natural habitat. So we did find ourselves a company that destroyed their living conditions while at the same time trying to maintain some sense of living for them. There is about 150 free roaming ranging proboscis monkeys, 20 to 40 silverleaf monkeys, which I'll show you, and a handful of macaques again. Okay, so this is the proboscis monkey, known in Latin as Nasalis lavartus. And that would make sense. It is an endangered species. Again, a decline of 50 to 70% over the last 10 years. These animals, the proboscis monkey, is found almost exclusively in Borneo and nowhere else in the world. So the fact that we are going to Borneo and being able to see this endangered species is pretty special. They live in trees along rivers and mangroves, and they are considered the most skilled monkey in the primate world. In fact, not only do they have webbed feet, but they can swim 65 feet underwater. So it's amazing to see them. Again, why are they endangered? Like I said before, primarily habitat loss from logging. They have cut down, according to Google, 300 million trees since 1994. That's a lot of trees. And when you go to Borneo, when you go there, it will be so apparent as you're driving around. I don't know if you can hear that okay. It'll be so apparent as you're driving around. You're going to see palm oil plantation after palm oil plantation, and it's like literally they sold the entire country out, or not a country, it's part of Malaysia and Indonesia, but they sold it out to developers for palm oil plantations and rubber plantations. Okay, so this is also a species that is sexually dimorphic, and what that means is males and females look considerably different from one another. You know, it's like those panda, not bears. You couldn't really tell which one was the male and which one is the female. And a lot of animals out there, you cannot tell the difference between males and females. This one particular species of primate, you absolutely can tell the difference between male and females, and it's not just the nose. So this is a male. Oh, and by the way, speaking of males, this is for the women in the audience, this is where you can say size matters. Because in the case of the proboscis monkey, the longer the nose, the more attractive they are to the females. And the reason for it, the reason they like the big nose, you know, I'm Jewish, but I didn't get a big nose, so I didn't luck out on that one. But it's because the monkeys can have a higher vocalization, so that they can warn, you know, their families of dangers before other less vocalized monkeys. So that's why they love the big nose. So I'm going to show you pictures of this. So you can see here, this is a male here, and this is a female here. You can see the significant difference in the size of the animal, but also the shape of the nose. They live in family groups of about 20, which is really interesting of how they do it. So they live in family groups of about 20, and you'll see them together all the time. Usually one alpha male with the big nose like this, and a harem of about 20 females. And then all the other males in the family keep to themselves. So it's quite interesting. But they're also, and especially since they live in small quarters, in tight quarters, they're also considered an extremely loving and nurturing animal, and they don't really fight amongst themselves. And they're very, very friendly to the people that come and visit them. They're used to it. I mean, look at that. Look at the eyes, look at the nose. I mean, it's just such a beautiful looking animal. Yes, so not only not only is the large nose something that's considered attractive to females, but also the, not the size of the penis, but how red it is. Apparently the redder the penis, the more virile they are. Okay, this one is obviously not happy about something. Okay, so in this particular place, there are a couple viewing platforms. They do live in the wild, but even though they live in the wild, they do come to these platforms and interact with humans. They're not afraid of humans. This one didn't want to interact, it just wanted to sleep. A lot darker here than it is on my screen. This is because of this light. I'm going to go to the next one. This one is way too dark. That's them running across the roof. That's one of the other species of monkey. It is a silverleaf monkey. That's enough. So that, like I said earlier, they live primarily in trees. And they eat a large variety of fruits and nuts and things in trees.
Darrell,
Yeah.
did they vocalize? They seem awful quiet.
Yeah, they really don't. I think I may have heard one yell once, but no, they have a vocal cords, but they don't really vocalize, I guess, unless there's danger in the area. Now this one's interesting. You'll see how this is another aspect of the proboscis monkey that I found fascinating in comparison with other monkeys you'll see in a minute. That looks like a typical monkey, but that does not. Very interesting, very human-like in a lot of ways. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to move on a little bit. This is a mama silverleaf. And this is the third type of monkey that's in the area.
Macaque.
Yeah, macaque. This was also something that was in the trees. It's a flying lemur. I was never able to actually see one fly, but this is unfortunately the only picture I took. But when we go to Borneo, we have an opportunity to walk through the rainforest there. Hopefully we will see these critters flying. Yeah. Did I what's that?
Lemur's a big cat was the question.
What's that?
Is a lemur a big cat?
No, it's like it's a rodent. It's a flying rodent.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The next thing I want to share with you is the orangutan rehabilitation, conservation, what have you, that exists. And by the way, again, all four of these places are within an hour and a half drive of each other. So it is a very easy excursion that we can do while we're there. It's called the, where is it here? The Sepalok Orangutan Rehabilitation Center. It was established in 1964 by the Sabah, which is the name of the province, Wildlife Department. It is the world's first, and out of 4 orangutan rehab centers in the world. There's only 4 orangutan rehab centers in the world. This is the first and the largest of the 4 in the world. And they are orphaned or injured orangutans as it relates to, as a result of, again, habitat loss, poaching, and pets. Believe it or not, apparently about 500 orangutans are captured and sold as pets every year. And the mother is killed when the babies are taken as pets. Sorry, am I in your way? And in 1997 to 1998, a forest fire in the province of Sabah killed 8,000 orangutans. So they are definitely an endangered species. They're the 3rd largest ape, and again, they are considered they're on the critically endangered list. They're critically endangered not because of the loss, not just because of the loss, but because they have a very low reproductive rate. So they're not able to make babies as fast as they're being killed off or dying off. This is again where you see a lot of them playing together. This was interesting. So I was standing literally just a few feet away from this orangutan. And it has a baby on it. You may not be able to see her baby from this picture. But she walked right by me and she's like, I don't trust you. Beautiful animal. Are you guys finding this interesting at all?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So also, this is called a sun bear. And again, it's very close by in proximity, the Sun Bear Conservation Center, very close to the Orangutan Rehabilitation Center. This is the smallest bear in the world, consists of about 28 inches at the shoulders, so just over 2 feet, and under 100 pounds. Their population, they're not an endangered species, but they are a threatened species. Their population has declined by 35% since the 1990s. So, but again, this bear is very, very rare as it relates to where you can see it in the world. I'm not going to show you any animals here, but this is a picture from the Rainforest Discovery Center, which is quite, again, it's right in the same area. It's quite interesting. It has elevated walkways that you can walk through the treetops of the rainforest. All right, we are going to move on to India. I know at least one person in this room that has gone to this place. that I've been. Don't know if anybody else has gone. If you have, please raise your hand. But this little red dot is in the city of Pushkar. Has anybody been to the Pushkar Camel Festival? Ah, nice. Yeah, I know about you. Yeah. It is absolutely an amazing experience. Now, India is a country that we could easily do a speaker's corner on and be completely captivated for many, many hours. It is an amazing country, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see a lot of it unless we get off the ship. It's kind of like China, right? We're not going to see a lot of it unless we get off the ship and make it a point to take time away from wherever the ship's going to be to see India. However, the Pushkar Camel Festival is the largest of its kind in the world. It takes place every single year in the city of Pushkar. Around next year is going to be November 17 to 24. What's interesting is our ship at that time will be on the tail end of Malaysia and Thailand with about 4 or 5 sea days on our way to India. So if you time it correctly and you're willing to give up a few days in Thailand, you could fly maybe from Bangkok to Delhi and then go to the Pushkar Camel Festival, and you'd be able to see it. There are approximately 200,000 people that attend the Pushkar Camel Festival, and they're not tourists, they are camel traders. There's about 50,000 camels that congregate during the 1 week camel fair. A lot of the camels get decorated, but it's really a fascinating thing to see. All right, so that's the Pushkar Camel Festival. So, anybody know what this is? This is a cat. This is a big cat. This is a Royal Bengal tiger. Now, for full transparency purposes, I did not see this animal. Okay, it's not in Pushkar, but I did want to include it because it is one of the most significant animals in the wild. And if we have an opportunity, and I'm going to show you how we have an opportunity to see this animal when we're close to India. So this is a map of India. All of these dots here are where Bengal tigers are found. However, not all of them have a large concentration of Bengal tigers. This one in particular, and it's called Banda something or another, right here. This one right here, it's got the largest concentration of Royal Bengal tigers in India. And it is approximately a 4-hour drive from this city. Now, I didn't go close to show you what the city is because I wanted to show you that our ship is going to be docked right here. So you can fly direct from here to here and see the largest concentration of Royal Bengal tigers when we're in the area. Again, the biggest problem we're going to have, unless they're able to make some adjustments to the itinerary, the biggest problem we're going to have is the amount of time allotted to each of these places on how much we can see beyond the port. But there are very few animals in India that are worth seeing, and this is definitely one of them. The only thing I want to say about these is I love this picture. This is a family of monkeys. This I took in Nepal, not in India. Okay, we're going to move on to Africa now. So I am sure that most of you, or many of you, have been on African safaris. And so a lot of the animals I'll show you or share with you, you've seen before. But again, this isn't about necessarily seeing new animals. It's about seeing animals that we love to see. Can I get a raise of hands of everybody that's been on an African safari? Okay, yeah, like pretty well all of you. Okay, that's awesome. So these are the main safari destinations in the world. There's about 5 of them here. Everybody knows Kruger in South Africa, of course. It's one of the largest single parks as far as size is concerned. The one that I always went to was the Masai Mara in Kenya, right here. And which I'm going to talk about the Serengeti and the Masai Mara in a minute. And the reason I went to the Masai Mara almost every 2 years, for those that were at my orphanage talk last year, is because I went to Kenya every 2 years to visit my orphanage, and I always made it a point to go to a safari. So there's 3 areas I'm going to talk about as it relates to this, and I'm going to try to go quickly because a lot of you have been on these safaris before, but right here is the main area for safaris. You got the Serengeti in Tanzania and the Masai Mara in Kenya. They're basically the same land, right? The animals really don't know the difference between whether they're in Tanzania or they're in Kenya. All they know is the change of the season and where the water is. There's the Ngorongoro, whatever.
Ngorongoro.
Yeah, try to say that 5 times fast. Right here, I did not get a chance to go there. But the most famous thing, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the silverback mountain gorillas in Bwindi Impenetrable Forest as well. So, the annual migration of the wildebeest, has anybody had a chance to experience that? A few of you. So unfortunately, the timing of our ship close to Africa does not easily coincide with the annual migration, but it is something that we should definitely try to put on our list. I went personally the last time in September, and the best time to go is between July and October. So here are different shots. So part of the reason that you want to go to these places during, like for example, the annual migration, is because there's such a large concentration of prey. You often see a lot of action happening because of the large concentration of animals. Warthogs, they're so darn cute. Long necks. Who doesn't love giraffes? So this was interesting that this rhino had its horns. Often on the safaris that I've been on, the rhinos have no horns. And it's not because they choose not to have their horns. They're actually cut off by the park. Because even though they run the risk of not being able to defend themselves because they no longer have the horn, they are also no longer attractive to poachers that want to kill them for their horns. So I was actually quite surprised to see this rhino still had its horn. Now I will say this. Even though we won't be able to see the migration itself, we will be close to Tanzania in February or March, not of next year, but the following year. And even though we're not going to be able to see the migration in February and March, we will be able to see all the mamas having their babies. So they have about... So when we're in the Maldives and the Seychelles, if you take a look at that part of the itinerary, you'll see a lot of days in the Maldives and the Seychelles and Madagascar, a lot of days. You can take time away from some of that to fly to Nairobi or Mombasa to see the animals. But in the case of the Serengeti, during calving season, which is approximately when we'll be there, there's 8,000 babies born every single day. So what that means is, even though you're not going to see a lot of action because of a large concentration going across the Mara River, you will see a lot of action because the babies are easy prey. So, and you know, I'm not saying that people like to go to safaris to see death, but they certainly like to go to safaris to see life, right? And that's part of life. Oops. I don't know. Again, part of life. Okay. South Africa. So we're going to be, so Kruger National Park is the other major park for safaris, which is right here. The main city you go in and out of to visit is Johannesburg. Now, there is another park about 2 hours west of Johannesburg called, I don't know if I can pronounce this correctly, Pilanesberg National Park. That's where I went to. The last time I was there, I did not have time to go to Kruger. So for those that have not been to Kruger, it is huge. You can't really go to Kruger for a day or two. You have to go for several days. It's 5-6 hours to get there, and there's not as much of a concentration of animals in a small area, so you have to travel large areas to see the animals there. Oh, so I didn't really show you any of the animals in that park because it was basically the same kind of animals you saw in the other park. But what is wonderful to do when you're in and around Johannesburg is fly to Victoria Falls. Raise their hands, everybody been to Victoria Falls? A well-traveled group. Fantastic, right? It's one of the most beautiful waterfalls in the world. When I was there the last time, this is where I was staying. A very, very cool place. Animals all around, literally all around and inside. So, the largest safari, the largest park near Victoria Falls is in Botswana, and it's the Okanoga, what's it called? The Okan of something, Delta? That's it, what he said, yeah. I didn't get a chance to go there. I did go to, what's it called here? Chobe National Park, which is the second largest park in Botswana. And it is accessible from the town of Livingstone, Zimbabwe, which is where you would stay if you're going to Victoria Falls. And what's famous about Chobe in particular is a very large concentration of elephants. And crocodiles. All right. What was I trying to show here? Zimbabwe, I'm not really sure. Oh, this is another park. Oh, this was interesting. I'm going to skip over this one. This was in Pilanesberg. So this was something that was really interesting to see. We stopped our Jeep for a period of time, and this huge herd of elephants walked by, and we didn't know why they were walking by, and then all of a sudden they began to congregate. And I'm going to jump forward because I think I'm actually spending way too much time on this. They began to congregate because of this. This was a family member, an elderly, I think they said, the ranger said it was a female, died of natural causes. Okay, so when they die, they just kind of die, right? Nobody really picks them up. They're left there. But all the elephants were going and congregating around the grandma to pay their respects. And it was just an amazing sight to see. I hear you can see the rhino's got no horn. No horn. Wild turkeys. Okay, I'm going to jump to something else really quickly. Has anybody had an opportunity to see the silverback mountain gorillas? Okay, a few of you. Definitely something that is very, very different and very worth seeing. Very worth seeing. Good English? I don't think so. There are primarily 3 places in the world where the silverback mountain gorilla exists, and that's it. They exist in Uganda, Rwanda, and the Congo. And basically the same forested area is where they exist. I went to Burundi from Uganda, and I'll just share with you some of the differences and the reasons why. One of the main reasons is that in Uganda, it's home to half of all of the mountain gorillas. So if you want to go somewhere where you're going to see a lot of mountain gorillas, it's going to be in Uganda. And the other reason you want to go to Burundi is because the permit is only $700, whereas if you went through Rwanda, it's more than double that price. So what do you get for $700? Well, you basically get a one-day pass to go and see the gorillas, and that's it. But definitely worthwhile. You have to trek through the forest, and these are absolutely lovely animals. This is the mama. These are the babies. So it's interesting, like all animals, the babies were not afraid of us. They were curious. So they would, we'd be standing there, and everybody had to be quiet and not have any, sudden movement. And the babies would come up and try to grab your purse or your camera, pull on your leg. And the papa was sitting back looking at the whole thing, making sure you did not do anything you weren't supposed to do. But even though it was a little scary at first, once you realized how to act with these animals, it was pretty spectacular. Okay, so by the way, does anybody want to add to this with their experiences when they saw the mountain gorillas at all? Yes. Do you need the mic? Okay. Ronnie, I've heard you yell at me before. You can.
I know. Thank you. Okay. So I went there, and my experience was Uganda, just as Darrell did the same. And I had a 5-hour trek into the jungle and a 3-hour out. And it was grueling for me. We hire a porter, right, Darrell? They make you hire a porter, or they suggest you hire a porter for like $20 for the day, and they carry all your stuff for you. And they actually machete through the jungle. There's no paths, it's macheteing. And it's quite an experience. Several people when we finally got to see the gorillas and up close, just like Darrell's saying, the silverback with their family and all, was fabulous. But they guarantee you for that $700 1 hour in the jungle with them. Now the sad thing about that is, once you get into the jungle, and it's pretty late in the day because they start you out fairly late. They don't start you at 6 in the morning. At least that was not my experience. And what they do is they say, now we guarantee you the hour. Do you want the hour? And we had a group of 7 people, and we all looked at each other and said, here's the problem. We would love the hour, but the gorillas could be going further into the jungle, and we would have to follow them, which would make it even later for us to get back. So we opted to 15 minutes with the gorillas was fine, and then we trekked out for 3 hours to get out. Now there are other people that have had some of the wonderful experiences. They saw the gorillas in 45 minutes, 20 minutes. We just happened to have a difficult situation of 5 hours trekking through.
Ronnie, I couldn't remember. Did you say you went to the Rwanda side or the Uganda side?
No, the Uganda, just as you did.
Oh, that's interesting,
And
because I
same-
did not have that experience.
You did not, and
No.
a lot of people in our groups, because we had different groups go, they didn't have the experience we
Yeah.
did either. But one more thing, they say Rwanda is a lot better to go to. That's why the price is twice as much.
Well, I'm not sure what constitutes better. I do know that of the 1,000 mountain gorillas that are left in the world, that's it. 500 of them live in the windy, impenetrable forest. Okay, I'm gonna have to go through this a lot quicker.
You've got
I
6
thought I would
minutes.
do this whole thing in 20 minutes, and it
I know.
turned out to be.
You have 6 minutes left.
Okay, so I'm going to go through this really, really quick because this isn't anything we're going to see. But in Cape Town, when we are in Cape Town, South Africa, there are 3 things that you could see. Now there's only 2 things. Gansbaai is where the great white sharks used to be. Hermanus is the place to go see the whales. And then near Betty's Bay is got the largest concentration of African penguins in this African continent. So this was me. That's me. My hair looked different under there, I guess. Seeing the great white sharks. I'm going to go through this quickly. I did not take this picture. I'm showing you this picture so you could see what it would look like if you had an underwater camera. I didn't have an underwater camera, which is why the other pictures look the same. Boulders, this is where the African penguin is. And the thing about the African penguin, they are on the critically endangered. So they're beyond endangered. They are critically endangered. And this, for those bird lovers out there, is the Cape Cormorants? Cormorants? Yeah, just thousands and thousands of them sitting there. All right, so that's me. I don't like that picture. So obviously, this is in the Galapagos. A group of us last Christmas had the opportunity to spend Christmas in the Galapagos, which was absolutely amazing. A lot of people have been to the Galapagos before. Some of you? Yeah. You know, it's so funny because I never really thought I'd be that interested in the Galapagos. I heard that everybody wants to go there. I was like, really? I'm going to go all the way there to see a bunch of turtles? I was blown away at how amazing the Galapagos was. The giant tortoise has been around for about 2 million years. There are 12 subspecies over the various islands. 2 of the subspecies are extinct, so they've already become extinct. They're the largest tortoise in the world, over 4 feet wide, weighing over 900 pounds. Wild tortoises can live up to 100 years, while captive tortoise, this is interesting, can live up to 175 years. It's like, that's a long time. So they had a lot of conservation areas as well in the Galapagos, raising the tortoise to increase its population. Large seal population as well in the Galapagos. This is the only bird picture I think I've got, but everybody's got to see the blue-footed booby. This is a marine iguana. And these are also, they had land-based iguanas and marine iguanas. These are smaller marine iguanas. And they were everywhere. You literally had to be careful where you walked or you would step on these. And these were all over the place where the where the boats would come and go. And these are Sally Lightfoot crabs. Really very colorful. Okay. A lot of you went to Peru last year with the ship, correct? Everybody been to Peru? I was, I thought there's llamas and there's alpacas. And I had no idea till I got to Peru that they had all of these different kinds of llamas. They were absolutely beautiful. And the baby llama. This is in Argentina, the seal colony in Patagonia. And this is the penguins that were in Patagonia. And these are penguins I saw in Antarctica. I'm wrapping it up. Okay, I've only got a few other miscellaneous pictures. I actually took this picture. I can't believe it actually came out. It's one of those things where you take a million pictures and you hope something turns out. But this was a whale watch. I used to live in Hawaii for 5 years, so we used to be able to go on a lot of whale watches, and I was able to capture this photo on a whale watch. I'm not doing a lot of underwater. There's a lot of people that have better photos than I do of underwater, but this is one experience I do want to share with you that absolutely blew me away. This was last year in Bonaire, and for those that are scuba divers, you'll recognize this is a bait ball. It goes on and on and on. I'm going to cut it off. There's one other experience I had similar to that here, and this was in Phuket, off of Phuket, Thailand. Thought that was a short one. Okay, this is my last photo. For those, this is my favorite cow. I don't know the name of this cow, but this is in Scotland. These are. That's the one. That's the one. Okay, am I out of time? I'm out of time. Okay. Well, anyways, thank you for allowing me to share with you some of my pictures. I love animals. Hopefully you enjoyed that.
Have you ever been to the Darrell Animal Preserve on the Isle of Jersey?
No.
You want to go.
Really? What's it called? Is something Darrell?
Gerald's Darrell.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Are we done?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Darrell.